Gather along as we set out on a wild, grape-fueled voyage into the glittering world of the most costly wines, ladies and gentlemen, wine collectors, and possibly future bank robbers. Just kidding, please don't loot any banks. Imagine wines that are so expensive they would make Scrooge McDuck's vault seem like a piggy bank. We're not talking about your typical bottle of fermented grape juice. Instead, we're talking about expensive wines that might even cost you your prized wine cellar. So buckle up, grab your tasting glasses, and get ready for a quick tour of the elite of the wine world. Stay with us if you've ever wondered what it's like to drink a liquid masterpiece that has the potential to bankrupt a small nation. Who knows, you could find yourself setting aside money for a bottle or two by the end of this journey, or perhaps just purchasing a less expensive alternative and passing it off as the original. Cheers to discovering the expensive and rich wines that make wine connoisseurs swoon, and we commoners grab the nearest bottle opener. Domaine Leroy Musigny. Grand Cru. As of right now, the Leroy Musigny is available in a bottle with more security features than the Louvre. Opening this is comparable to solving the Da Vinci Code without Tom Hanks there. But do not worry, we will succeed. It's like a Monet painting on steroids because of how brilliant the color is. And the smell? It appears as though all of Versailles' flowers came together for a scent party. The moment you've all been waiting for has finally arrived. The cost of this liquid luxury. Drumroll, please. The winner is then all of your life savings. Just kidding, but tread carefully, my friends. This bottle might cost you a tiny European nation or a kidney. Let's make a deeper info about this wine. Domaine Leroy Musigny Grand Cru is the most expensive wine, and frankly, by a landslide. It's the only wine with an average retail price above $40,000, and one of two wines with peak retail prices over $100,000. Domaine de la Romanée Conti Grand Cru is the other one. So what makes this Pinot Noir special? It checks every box that a wine investor could dream of. Legendary terroir? Check. Minuscule supply? Check. Universal praise, including multiple perfect scores from wine critics. Check and check. Domaine Leroy Musigny. Grand Cru has treated wine collectors well. According to Livex, every vintage since 2000 has appreciated between 361.8% and 2,848.5% over the last 5 years. We thought about it. What else could you get for a cool $41,368? While the price continues to soar, here are a few choices. A 2019 Tesla Model 3, 2 business-class Emirates flights between New York and Dubai, 52 iPhone 14s, and 300 Apple stock shares. Grand Cru Domaine Dauphiné Chevalier. Wine. The price of this wine is so extravagant that it could certainly purchase Buckingham Palace, or at least a few of its bricks. Gathering grapes for Chevalier Montrachet. Grand Cru is a difficult chore that calls for both ballet dancers' grace and sumo wrestlers' strength. The bouquet is gorgeous, and it makes me think of summer picnics with corgis and cucumber sandwiches. However, I must be extremely cautious not to spill any of the nectar on my regal robe. Isn't it funny? Well, it's not. So come on, let's find out the real color of this wine. Many prominent wine estates have existed for centuries. Not Domaine Dauphiné. It was founded in 1988 in Saint-Romain. So how did it become a darling of the investment-grade wine world? Lalou Biz Leroy. The owner and manager of the estate is also the driving force behind the legendary Domaine Leroy. Domaine Dauphiné has 10 acres of Grand Cru Pinot Noir and Chardonnay spread across a handful of vineyards. By comparison, Domaine Leroy has 54 acres. The resulting wines are intense, powerful, and infinitely complex. After trying the most recent release of this Chardonnay, William Kelly wrote, "To my palate, these are simply the greatest white wines produced in the world." Unsurprisingly, he gave it a perfect score. The price of this is $32,027. The Grand Cru Domaine Dauphiné Criot Batard. With 1.57 acres, Criot Batard Montrachet is the smallest of Burgundy's white Grand Crus. It is situated primarily facing south at the northern end of the Chassagne appellation, just south of Batard Montrachet. Formerly a component of Batard Montrachet, Criot Batard Montrachet was established as the final of the white Grand Crus. Rodier does not mention Criots in 1920, but it is possible that the legal battle over the use of the Montrachet name in 1921 marked the beginning of the process of redrawing the boundaries between the White Grand Crus. Blanchot-Dessous and some other plots on the outskirts of Montrachet were both excluded as a result of this process. In the end, the AOC in 1937 helped to address the boundary issues. However, as far as I can tell, a decree dated June 13, 1939, eventually established the AOCs for Criots Batard Montrachet and Bienvenus Batard Montrachet. Grand Cru status was given to Criots Batard Montrachet as opposed to Blanchot-Dessous, which is located immediately south of Montrachet. Okay, back to the present. Once more, Domaine d'Auvenay succeeds. The Chardonnay has developed a reputation for massive aromatics that conjure stone fruits, honeycomb, wild owers, and freshly whipped cream, and it won't be the first time either. It is simple to understand why wine connoisseurs pay top money for this white wine when robust body, opulent texture, and startling purity are added. The greatest standards need to be applied to wines at this pricing point. They are more than met by Domaine d'Auvenay Criots Batard Montrachet Grand Cru. This Chardonnay is regarded by many as being among the best in Burgundy. La Revue de Vin de France has reinforced with 10 straight flawless scores, estimated at $27,532. Romanée-Conti Grand Cru from Domaine de la Romanée-Conti. Even James Bond would give in his martini for a drink of this wine since it is so highly sought after. A vineyard with more riddles than a Hercule Poirot book. The Domaine de la Romanée-Conti. The grapes develop in secret, as if they were hiding from wine enthusiasts like crafty feline robbers. Romanée-Conti Grand Cru is produced by expert grape detectives who are masters of the grape interrogation technique. The grapes are silent when asked, "Who squeezed you?" and "Where were you fermented?" However, they do reveal some delicious information. The daring wine heist challenge has now taken us inside Domaine de la Romanée-Conti. Our competitors have to attempt to evade a laser security system with a bottle of Romanée-Conti. Almost impossible? Of course. You really love jokes. Let's stop kidding around and take this seriously. If you were to make a Mount Rushmore of investment-worthy wineries, you'd be hard-pressed to leave off Domaine de la Romanée-Conti. The estate has long been the face of Burgundy with its revered wines, glowing critical reviews, and astronomical demand. It's also the only domain in Burgundy to make wine exclusively from Grand Cru vineyards. The lengths people are willing to go to own Domaine de la Romanée-Conti was underscored at a 2018 Sotheby's auction. A 73-year-old bottle of the Pinot Noir sold for a jaw-dropping $558,000. Not only was that a world record, but the final price tag was also 17 times higher than the original estimate of $32,000. To prove that it was not a fluke, another bottle of Domaine de la Romanée-Conti from the same vintage sold for $496,000 moments later. And the price? A single bottle averaging nearly $26,000. Grand Cru, Domaine d'Auvenay Batard. These are not your typical grapes. They possess both the grace and snark of a Hollywood diva and a French poet. Only the most daring winemakers are willing to subdue their untamed flavors. Every day feels like a wine parade when drinking Domaine d'Auvenay Batard Montrachet Grand Cru. Who needs a parade when you have grapevines dancing just outside your dining room window? This wine is the reason why grapes dream of becoming wine. Just kidding. Domaine d'Auvenay claims its 5th spot on this list with this Chardonnay from Batard Montrachet. The secret? In the words of William Kelly, Lalou Bise Leroy is making wines not for the present, but for eternity. With an aging window of 20 to 30 years, this gem can be enjoyed by generations of wine lovers. Domaine d'Auvenay Batard Montrachet. Grand Cru makes its presence felt with tangy acids, a fleshy body, and a smooth, honeyed finish. Critics have compared it to a more dynamic version of the estate's Enseigneur. A single bottle of Enseigneur retails for around $10,313, and this wine's is estimated price $25,086. And there you have it. Let the spirit of these wines inspire you to savor every drop of life's rich tapestry. Cheers to the journey of taste, to the joy of discovery, and to raising a glass to the wonders that await us all. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell.